Hi and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the Returning of Panthera, or Panthera should I say, Tarot. This is a Deckstiny deck that was recently sent to me. As you may be aware, Deckstiny are based in Thailand, so their shipping fees are slightly raised, costing around $35, which is about £35 really in the UK. So whenever you are buying a deck from Deckstiny, it is certainly worth considering the extra expense that you may need to put out in order to acquire your decks. However, this particular deck, the Returning of Panthera Tarot, seems to be really popular. I had only just come across it last week when I was sent it. As you can see, it is a limited edition. I've got 197 out of 300 copies. This is the back of the deck. There are 78 cards with 22 major, 40 minor and 16 court cards. It is just a simple tuck box. These cards were wrapped in cellophane inside this tuck box when I first got the deck. However, I have since removed the cellophane because it was just a little awkward to work with. So I will pop that in the back there for you to see. That's going to annoy me that it's not actually straight. That is better. Okay, so this deck comes with a guidebook, and this is kind of a new thing for Deckstiny because apart from the chubby bun runes, I haven't had a guidebook with any Deckstiny deck as of yet. So it's just a simple black and white guidebook. There is a, is it QI code on the back? So you've got the author's note, the major arcana, minor arcana, wands, pentacles, cups and swords. It gives you a little information about the deck and the story behind it, and then it moves on to the major arcana. So each card, obviously there's no pictures, it just gives you the meaning of the card. It doesn't give you a reverse meaning, it just gives you the meaning of the cards upright. So that's the major arcana. Then we have the minor arcana, and we've got a few cards per page there. At the end of the minor arcana, I don't think it gives you any spreads in here. No, it doesn't give you any spread examples, but it does just give you the meanings of the cards. So it's quite a nice little thing to actually have the guidebook. It's a new thing for Deckstiny, certainly, so I'll put that to one side. As with most Deckstiny decks, there are additional cards. This particular one here is actually a certification to say that this is the first edition in 2021, and it has been signed, which I think is a really nice touch. And there's the backs of the cards. They're just a beautiful chocolate brown and sort of caramel coloured. So I've got that certification card, and then I've got a double-sided art card. And then I have a title card, The Returning of the Panthera Tarot. And it says that illustrations are by Mint Uranico, I think it is. And again, that lovely back to the card. So I'll put them to one side. I'm not sure if there are any more. Yet there are at the back. There's another art card there. I will remove that as well. And sometimes there's a thank you card. But nope, there isn't. So we'll have a look now at the deck. It isn't edged. It's just got plain white edging. The backs of the cards are reversible. I love this sort of chocolate brown feel to them. The cards themselves are matte, and the card quality is lovely. It's standard size, so it's a beautiful matte sheen. It's really nice in my hands to work with and to feel, and I can tell you now it's going to shuffle beautifully. So the Panthera is all... the Panthera, I'm not sure how you would say it, but all the cards are animal based. So we have the Fool, and you can see the animals here, and the panthers are taking the place of what would have been human figures. So we have the Fool on the cliff edge. It's really, really nicely done. And the Magician. Beautiful leopard. I want to say leopard. It looks like a leopard, but I'm so inclined to say it's a panther because of the title of the deck. But here we go. And the High Priestess. That's just gorgeous. Then we have the Empress. Now, this to me looks like a cheetah with the cubs, and I've been in almost this identical scene when I was about 8 years old and I went to Kenya. I got to see a cheetah feeding her cubs in very similar surroundings to this, so it just reminds me of that. It's beautiful. And the Emperor. And the Hierophant. That teacher, that guide. And then we have the Lovers. How beautiful is that? It's almost like a Lion King scene. I didn't want to say Lion King when I was looking through this deck, but there we go, see lions. You can't help but to see the lions and to think of Disney sometimes. Then we have the Chariot and Strength. It's beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful Hermit card. The Lantern in the Snow. Oh, it's just divine. And the Wheel of Fortune. I like that the wheel's broken and the cubs are playing with it. That's just different and cute. Justice with the scales in its mouth. And the Hanged Man. I always turn this upside down so you can see actually it looks like they're stretching up a tree. Quite happy to be there. Death. An interesting card because it's I'm going to refer to the Lion King again. You know which scene this is going to be. Scar and Mufasa. But yeah, death, that sort of change, maybe the change in roles, especially in this card. And then we have Temperance, dipping her paw into the water there, gaining her balance, and the Devil licking his wounds. We've got that pentagram in the cave behind him in the bats. Interesting. The Tower. I can't help but to refer to the Jungle Book here. I'm so sorry about all the Disney references. This is what happens when you have children. I can see Bagheera in this picture. And then the Star. That's just divine. And we have the Moon. Look at the paw prints. I love that card. And the Sun, a playful, happy cub. Judgment. Again, you can see those scales, if you will, looking up to the sky. And then the World, that contentment, that fulfillment. Moving on to the Ace of Wands, we have a paw rather than a hand holding the Ace of Wands. I like that. Oh, and then the Two of Wands. We have that waiting, watching. We have the Three. Waiting for results. And the Four. Now usually the Four in my eyes wouldn't be quite like that, but it's still beautiful. And the Five, that's sort of annoying battles. And the Six. And the Seven. And then we have the 8. And the 9. Please excuse all the background noise. We've got half term here at the moment, so it's rather noisy. And then we have the 10 of Wands, that just keep on going, that overwhelmment, that sort of push to just keep on striving forward. Page of Wands, chasing a lizard look. Cute. And the Knight. Obviously the Knight's not going to be on a horse because it would be rather strange to see a lion on a horse. And the Queen with the sunflowers. And the King. And there's that lizard again. If you wanted a Disney reference, it's got to be Frozen too. Anyway, Ace of Cups. How cute is that? And he's putting his paws over that cup that's flowing with water. The 2. That happiness and love and relationships. And the 3, the sisterhood. Then we have the 4 with that sort of, I was going to say discontentment, but I don't think that's a word, is it? That sort of unhappiness. And the 5 with the sorrow. And the 6 and the 7 with the decisions. And the 8 where you're moving away. And the 9, which is like a wish card, and he's got his fish, he's got his wish, his fishy wish. And then that 10, the beautiful rainbow there in the background. And then we have the Page of Cups and the Knight. Obviously no horses, as I said. And the Queen and the King. Aww. Moving on to the swords, we have these snowy scenes now. There's Ace of Swords and the 2. Oh, this is lovely. I like these. There's 3 of Swords, which is usually the swords through a heart, but this is obviously through the, well, it looks like they're in the background actually, but he has fallen through the ice. Then we have the 4 of Swords, that rest, and the 5, and the 6. Oh, and then I've obviously tilted this one the wrong way up. We have the 7 and the 8, that trapment, and the 9. Oh, that's beautifully done. And the 10. Oh, striking. The page and the knight and the queen and the king. Moving lastly onto the pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the 2, all very earthy scenes as they should be, and the 3, teamwork. Obviously the team are going to take down these poor animals, and the 4, well, they've obviously achieved getting their animals. You can see the progression through the deck here, and they're holding on to it. And then the 5, that loneliness, and the 6, and the 7, and the 8, hard day's work there, and the 9, that contentment, and the 10, that family card there, enjoying their meal together, yum yum. And the page, and the knight, and the queen, and the king. How cute are these cards? Certainly if you're a big cat fan, this is a tarot deck for you. I'm not sure on the price. I will have a look now and see if it's on the back of this. I don't think it is. Nope. Prices will be on Deckstiny's Etsy shop. Depending on where you are in the world, can depend on how much this deck may cost you. It is a beautiful deck. I love the matte finish. I do appreciate that they've actually included a guidebook this time. I think the bonus cards with that certification for those people wanting limited editions certainly hits that spot. A great deck, very, very pretty, very beautiful. Something that I'm going to get used to using. I'm almost associating this with like the Mary L for some reason. I think it's the big cats there. But a lovely, lovely deck, and I love the backs and I love the matte finish. I would have maybe liked for it to be edged in perhaps a chocolate brown, but otherwise it is just divine, and it is the first edition, so I'm pretty certain that Deckstiny will no doubt bring out a second edition at some point and it will be altered all again. Lovely, lovely deck. What do you think? Have you got the Returning of the Panthera? Have you considered getting it? What do you think of the video so far? Hope you've enjoyed this and found it informative. Thanks for watching. Take care.